And Holgers. What do you think of him?
I like him a lot. Yeah, he's a football guy. He's a great coach. He's pushes us really hard. He holds us to just a high standard. He kind of knows what it's like supposed to look like good football. He kind of challenges us when we're doing like a lot of like routes on air. Throwing just on air, no defense, and like one-on-ones just to have high completion percentage. And just holds us to a really high standard. And I like he's great as a coach.
Have you ever talked to him? I mean, you guys have something in common. You both played small college ball in Iowa. Have you guys ever talked about just his experiences doing that and your experiences doing that?
No, I guess I didn't know that. No, we haven't. No, we haven't spoke about that. I didn't know that.
Dylan spoke highly of how you guys can bounce ideas off each other. How would you just describe that relationship and how it's grown, both on the field and off?
Yeah, I think just I'm able to just just be there, just for anything like we talked about, just some coverages that we're seeing or just some ideas within the offense. Just being there, just to talk to him, being a great friend, for him, and just being around him is a lot of fun. He's just a great teammate, and I think our relationship is very well. And he expressed he wanted me to come back, and I didn't really know, and so that was great hearing that I was wanted in the quarterback room and wanted to be a part of this. So just me and him were just competing out there, pushing each other, and just doing our best to get better every day.
What was the decision like for you to come back?
It was I kind of talked to Coach Rule in the middle of the season last year about it. I was kind of right in the middle of the season last year. Like I was kind of wanting to come back. Like I was like, this is kind of a no-brainer. I had an extra year. I wanted to come back and continue to grow. And get a better chance to play. And just wanting to have an aspirations of going to the NFL and playing in the NFL was like just kind of a no-brainer for me. I have the extra year. Why would I just kind of walk away now? Like I'm going to use this extra year. It's great. I've loved being on. Just being around this program and learning and just growing and growing my game, and growing my skill sets. So, it was kind of a little bit of a no-brainer. I just kind of just took some time just to really think about it, and pray about it. So, yeah.
Do you still plan to get into coaching when you're done playing football? I know that was something you talked about before.
Yeah. That's kind of like, if you ask me, like, what's made my career. I have a degree in business finance, but I don't really have a big passion to maybe become a banker or a financial advisor, I would tell you, I just want to, do coaching, I guess, when I'm done. But, I have aspirations of, going to the NFL and trying to, see if my game can, be there. And so, I don't think too much about the coaching thing, while we're sitting here and we're out here, getting through spring ball, but that's definitely something that, I've talked to, coaches about. I have aspirations of, becoming a coach and coaching in college, but I don't think too much about it, I guess.
Did you do
right now?
Did you run the scout team quite a bit last season?
Yeah. I was a scout team QB. Me and Luke, and then Danny Kalen did some of that too. On some weeks. Yeah.
So that's kind of experience all its own. I'm sure you had days where you were really good against your own defense, and then days where you probably struggled. So what is it like facing a Big Ten defense every day in practice? Well, and how is that different from?
I would say like. Just in general, it's like it's still just kind of football, like a lot of the coverage they run, they run in here, we ran, I was facing, in the GPAC, but I'd say it was great. It was what they were, asking of me last year, to be on the scout team and to run that, and I took very importance in that role, and so I was given a lot of when I did have a good day, I'd give banter to Coach, Coach Butler and his his DBs, like we got him today, and so. And I took a lot of pride too, knowing like last year on that scout team, it was like Mekhi Nelson, who's getting a lot of reps now, and like Quinn Clark, and there's a lot of guys on that scout team that I think they're at their point in their careers, they were I think I did a good job of helping them, and helping them grow and get better with that time over there.
What do you think of Nelson? Mekhi Nelson.
He's fast. Yeah, he's really fast. He runs super hard. Yeah. He's fast. He runs really hard. I think he's a great learner, and he's got a great skill set. Can catch it,
What do you see out of Marcos and TJ as they're obviously learning from you guys?
Yeah, I think they're doing a great job. They got like a great skill set. They throw a really nice ball. I think they're both doing a great job, right now, and just growing. Just getting better. I think they're taking the coaching that Coach Thomas has been, we've been in the film room a lot and in the meetings a lot, and they've been doing a great job just learning. I think they both done a good job of just like picking it up pretty quick and doing a lot of like studying out of, on their own time. I think they're both doing a great job.
Jalyn, what were the conversations like between you and Dylan? You mentioned that he expressed that he wanted you to come back, and I mean, did you guys talk after the regular season, before the bowl game? How did in person, on the phone? What was that like?
Yeah, we kind of talked after the Iowa game a little bit, after that tough loss, and he kind of said it then in the locker room, like, it'd be awesome if you came back. And then we kind of texted a little bit when we went home for winter breaks. We texted a little bit, had some conversations over text. And so, he just expressed, like, man, I don't know what you're going to decide, but, like, it'd be awesome if I want you to come back. He expressed how he wanted me to, and he wanted me to be here and be on the team and, helping, so, that was kind of, the conversations.
Considering that you did run the scout a lot last year, of course you're running the Nebraska offense now in practice. What's your comfort level, being out there running the same stuff that Dylan is?
Yeah, very comfortable. I like it a lot better because when I was on the scout, obviously they were telling me, Coach AD was saying, you throw it here, you throw it to this guy. It wasn't a lot of reading the defense, I guess, so to say. I'm super comfortable. Like I was saying, just being around it now and having. I think I did a good job when I first came here. I just studied a lot, on my own and just hit the ground running and try to just to know it to a T. So when I did have a chance to, maybe get some reps last year, that I would, know what I'm doing. So I feel like I'm in a great spot just with my understanding of the offense. And I think just now the more repetition, the more reps I'm getting, I think that's just going to continue to help me grow.
What do you tell your former teammates just about the jump? I'm sure you get a lot of guys that you played with. Like, what's the jump like going from NAIA all the way to the highest level of college?
Yeah, they ask that a lot. I just gotta tell them, like, one of the bigger ones, like, just the time we spend in the facilities, in the meeting rooms. It's just a little bit more time we're here. I'd say, like, just the average, like, just the depth and, like, just the average, size of most of the players, here with all the resources we have. I guess that's a little bit different. But I don't know. I kind of tell them at the end of the day, it's kind of just football. Like at Northwestern, I had a lot of great receivers and running back. We had a lot of great skill guys and great players there too. So I'd say the biggest difference that I've at least just noticed is just the time and everything just kind of around it, the resources. So.
Did you travel? Were you in travel last year, Ross?
Yeah. Yep.
So the difference is in stadium. So you're at Ohio Stadium.
Right.
GPAC.
That too.
Well, so what was that like? You go to Ohio, not just Memorial Stadium, but like, you're at Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
These places. What's that like? A crowd?
Well, I mean, like our home stadium, we didn't have like a stadium that went all around. So like, that the size, like you alluded to, just the overall experience, just a little bit, obviously a lot bigger. And but at the end of the day, the field. Like, I think it was my first game last year against UTEP, and I was warming up out there, and it was kind of, my first time being out there, in front of the crowd. And I think I was joking with Coach Thomas, like, still 100 yards, hashes are, like, everything's, at the end of the day, it's football, but it's definitely a lot different, obviously, for obvious.
Did you ever practice with crowd noise?
Not too often, no. No, I don't think we did. No.
So that was probably a change when, you guys were having to.
There's a couple games we had at Northwestern where it was pretty loud against some of our rivals, but. Nothing like Ohio Stadium or. Dana
and Dylan shared your new nickname last week. How did that come about, and how have you tried to embrace that role on this team?
It's funny. I think one of the strength coaches, maybe like Coach Dez, kind of called me that when I first came here, and then some players kind of took it and ran with it, and so I'm definitely an older player and have a lot of experience, so I'm cool with whatever they call me, But I just try to embrace, the experience that I do have and just kind of the leadership role that I have on the team. And if I can, use my leadership to, help everyone around me and, speak up in time that, needs to be, someone's got to speak up, I'll do that. And so, I just embrace that just to, be a guy that, others can look to and that I can, just come through when they need me.
Are you 23?
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
Yeah.
Have you stopped at all during this year, fifth year of college, and like put it in perspective of where you came from, that just a few years ago you started on defense at Northwestern, right?
That's right.
Yeah, so that's a long journey. Have you given that some thought, just in how far you've come?
Yeah. I don't think a whole lot and like reflect a whole lot, just because I kind of try to just live like in the moment. But it has been, kind of when you asked that, it has been a little bit, just thinking about it. It's been crazy. Yeah, I was playing defense, and now I'm here, and I'm just super grateful for my time that I did spend at Northwestern, and everything that I've learned just throughout my career, and I think it's kind of all led to this moment, and just being here, and I'm just grateful. I'm just super grateful. The word is gratitude, and I guess I don't spend a whole lot of time though, just really reflecting on it, I guess.
What's it like to watch film with Dylan when the two of you break down film together? What's that process kind of like?
Yeah, we we kind of just go through and watch like the 7-on periods and the team periods, and just kind of like his reps, what he maybe was seeing. We'll kind of just talk through our read, what the defense was on this play, and just back and forth, just kind of chopping it up, just watching the film, watching the tape, and just learning from it. Just helping. Just back and forth.
What do you think of your guys' receivers? The new ones, the guys that just
I think they're great. I think a lot of them just have like a great attitude and just really fit the locker room well. I think that's kind of the most important piece, just to when you get a new player, a new transfer, and then also they got great skill sets. A lot of them that have joined the team, and I think they're doing well. Leading, just even using some of their voices, and I think they're great receivers. Going to help us out tremendously.
Anything else for Jalyn?
Thanks, Jalyn.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.